EU4 1.34 is going to be revamping the Commonwealth, Poland, Lithuania, and it's going to be adding the Winged Hussars special unit, as well as the restoration of the Latin Empire, or Byzantium, if it's gone by the point that you reconquer Constantinople as the Poles or the Commonwealth. We have a brand new Paradox Interactive spokesperson, Mr. Big Boss, who just joined the team, and I believe is one of the people that worked on these mission trees. So congratulations. This is probably one of my personal favorite mission trees that I've seen so far in the upcoming DLC. They start with a little bit of a history lesson again. If you guys don't know by now, and you should if you watch my videos, EU4 starts one day after the Battle of Varna, which marked the downfall of the crusade against the Ottomans, in which the king of Poland/Hungary died, and that's why Poland and Hungary and Bohemia start in an interregnum where they have to choose a new leadership. That's addressed with this new DLC, by the way, big time. So you can see the mission tree itself here. Varna Aftermath is essentially the main focus at the start, where you gotta put somebody on your throne, and there's a ton of branching missions that are explained as we go down into the dev diary. First off, you start as the Poles with the Great Sejm, which enables parliament, lowers unrest, and is a unique government reform for tier 1 for the Poles. It will eventually get replaced with the Polish elective monarchy if you choose to get the personal union over Lithuania, and it's basically the same thing. A few exceptions is that you get a new monarch elected from amongst available princes, so that's actually quite good compared to the old system of the elective monarchy. And also, the event for the PU over Lithuania fires even if Lithuania is a player, which means if you're two guys playing, one on Lithuania, one on Poland, and you want to play together co-op, you can have a really fun time, since both countries have missions that boost each other up, and the Polish player can still get the union over the Lithuanian player. Or you can just refuse it if you're the player of Lithuania. The AI always accepts it though, so it's pretty much a guaranteed PU over Lithuania in the next patch for Poland. This is what the event's gonna look like. We need a Jagiello for the Poles, and then the Lithuanians fall into the PU under the Poles. This gives way for the branching missions on the right-hand side of the mission tree, where you get to develop Ruthenia, tend to the east, and eventually you get the Imperial Commonwealth mission done as well. Essentially, it allows you to get the negotiations of Lublin, which means that parts of the Ruthenian lands will be transferred over to Poland when you have the PU over Lithuania, and the Commonwealth will be able to form at Admin Tech 8, which is significantly faster than you would otherwise be able to form the Commonwealth. Also, the Imperial Commonwealth mission gives minus 15 core creation cost and free policies +1 for 25 years. So if you time this right, you can use this for massive expansion into the east. Alternatively, if you don't want to get the PU over Lithuania, you get a new branching mission that allows you to join the Empire with the delegate with the Emperor, and then eventually you can work your way towards becoming the Emperor of the HRE. Imagine a country the size of Poland in 1444 can just simply join the Empire, becoming the largest HRE nation if they choose not to get the Lithuanian PU. So from the start, that is two unique separate playthroughs you can do as Poland just from these few branching missions. The Sejm Diet of 1466 here gives you the ability to join the Holy Roman Empire once you get the delegation sent. Our Place in the Sun also gives you improved relations and reasons to elect +15 for your elective monarchy heir. Now, the main body of the Polish mission tree at the start revolves around the Varna Aftermath, and that offers you a restoration of Union CB on both Hungary and Bohemia that lasts for 25 years and adds both of them as historical friends. This is because one day prior to the start game, remember, both of these countries were junior members of Poland. So they're literally just getting back those junior members. The second mission at the start, Leverage of the Magnates, is basically how you deal with the nobility that the Poles have. Well, the Poles have a really strong nobility for countries in 1444. They were far ahead of their times, weren't they? Not in a good way, by the way. So this lets you get +5 Szlachta loyalty equilibrium. The Szlachta is the nobility, and I know I'm butchering that name completely. I apologize for that. As well as the cost of parliamentary bribes is reduced by 50%. Wait, is this Romania's mission tree? Alternatively, the nobles can rebel against you, and you get the Little King's Uprising event trigger. If that event triggers, you're gonna have 3 armies of 23,000 units. Okay, that's pretty tough. But then again, until the end of the game, you get governing capacity plus 100. Oh my god, let them freaking trigger, man. Come at me, rebels. That governing capacity is way better than the loyalty equilibrium. The mission Great Sejm also unlocks a new type of personality, Reformist, that gives you more reform progress growth, as well as new unique parliamentary issue for Poland, and can be assigned for rulers with at least 4 admin skill. Looking forward to see the Reformist into action in that case. The balance of princely lands also offers massive bonuses, including a ton of Diplo points, or increasing your leader's Diplo skill points up to 6. You also can get idea cost minus 5% and innovativeness gain plus 25 until the death of your leader after you've actually enacted Copernicus's mission. Similarly, revival for Krakow, it will give you 1 trade depot, 2 production dev, and increase the trade center by 1 level. So I'm not sure if this means if it's level 2 it becomes level 3 even without the dev. Have to double check on this. I'm guessing you need at least a development to make it level 3. Otherwise it's kind of exploity. You get the classic permanent claims on Wallachia after you've done Roman's rebellion mission, which revolves around Moldova becoming a march of Poland. Then after you crush the Wallachians, you gain a bastion in Giurgiu. That is a level 4 fort. Technically, you can get a level 4 fort in Giurgiu in like 1450, because you can literally get Wallachia in 1450 with this new mission tree. That is pretty powerful, not gonna lie. That is actually pretty powerful. As well as you get claims on East and West Prussia and some manpower from the parliament seats. You also get the option of forming a Royal Prussia as a subject under you. Interested to see how this is gonna play out exactly as a Prussia boo myself. And they also finally mentioned the Winged Hussars. You'll be able to get 1 Winged Hussar for 100 development, which seems fairly good. Pretty balanced, I'd say, considering that they offer plus 1 cav shock and 100 reinforcement cost. They're super strong units, obviously, but you cannot have too many of them. The Lithuanians, on the other hand, get a smaller mission tree compared to the Polish one, but it's definitely a very juicy one with some unique permanent modifiers that make it super powerful. So first off, befriending the Cossacks gives you claims on the Zaporozhye area, Crimea, Azov, and some Cossack units, 4 Cossack knights in Vilnius, as well as a unique tier 1 government reform, the Grand Kingdom, that has heretic and heathen provinces not give out any penalty. This right here is super powerful, but it doesn't stop at that, because it's also fixed to kingdom. It gives 250 governing capacity and has the potential to also give minus 10 dev cost reduction or culture conversion cost, and cost for advisors with ruler's culture minus 25 for a certain amount of years. Once you do the Crimean Steppes mission, you can get cav compatibility. Bleh, this is useless. Enable the tribe estate is great, but is only for 30 years. Now, I assume that you get the tribe estate aside the other estates that you already have. Otherwise, it's bad. But if it's aside the ones that you already have, getting the tribes is amazing because you can get the extra general cost reduction, you can get the extra army tradition, so many privileges that you can give out to the tribes that help out massively. This would be the option to go for. Or alternatively, you can also go for the center of trading Kaffa. That works as well. A small bonus for tech, minus 10 tech until 64. That means 20 years and a little bit of innovativeness as well from your missions. And this is one of my personal favorite things. You get permanently 25 power projection once you do the Great Power Politics, as well as all power cost minus 5 for 25 years, and requirements to become a hegemony are lowered. Now, I have to say that considering Lithuania is getting the 25 power projection permanently, I really hope that the Prussians with the Brandenburg mission tree gets their 25 power projection permanently as well, because they also have it, but it's not permanent. It's kind of pepega because right now, considering how strong the Polish, Swedish, Danish, Norwegian, Lithuanian mission trees are, their little neighbor of Brandenburg and their mission tree is massively underwhelming. They show the Lifetime of War mission where you need to have Varna Aftermath, 100 army professionalism, 150,000 units, 8 winged hussars, and at least 35 infantry compatibility and 25 discipline. That's pretty high amounts of requirements. What you get in exchange for that is one of these 4 options here, and they're all permanent modifiers. The highlight is, of course, the military tactics plus 5% and the own territory dice roll bonus plus 1, meaning that whenever you're fighting on your own territory, you're always going to have a guaranteed plus 1 dice roll, which is massive unto itself, and the military tactics as well make a massive difference. The cav cost is not bad with cav to infantry ratio, I guess. The fire damage is great, but it only affects the winged hussars, so you're not gonna have that much of a bonus realistically speaking, because let's say you have 10 hussars. You also have an invest in Eastern Poland mission that requires you have 40 provinces with a manufactory and either 40 global trade goods produced or 7 trade-in bonuses. The reward is that you get all of your wool provinces will be switched to cloth provinces and 1 mercantilism per trade bonus, as well as you now are industrious. Your leader becomes industrious. That's his personality. Following in the steps made before the PLC, after completing the Great Sejm mission, you gain access to flavor missions that assist you in passing and repealing the Articles of Agreement. So for example, here you lower your estate's crownlands by 5%, as well as you get until the end of the game Monarch admin skill +1 guaranteed, or alternatively you get 25 power projection and 100 admin flat. Dominate the Markets mission also gives you the ability to reset or extend a golden era. Oh my god, dude. Are you shitting me right now? Extended by 30 years, or you gain another golden age. That means another 50 years later on after this one's finished. That is insane. 2 golden eras for the Commonwealth. Oh my god, I love this. This is so unique. I would never expected this to be a mission, like this reward to actually exist. Of course, there is a unique new casus belli as well, the Unite the Balkans casus belli, which I guess revolves around uniting the Balkans. Sounds about right. If you complete Break the Rus mission whilst holding Neva, Novgorod, and Moskva, you gain 10 Streltsy infantry, as well as a permanent claim on the entire Russian region. That is massive, dude. Alternatively, if you don't complete it with Novgorod, Moskva, and Neva, you gain Diplo Relations +1 and Cavalry Compatibility. And probably the most interesting out of all the events in this new mission tree, and well, this new dev diary really, is the fact that you can restore the crown of Rome, either restore the Phoenix to its former glory, meaning restore Byzantium, or allow the Latin Empire to live once more, or just keep Constantinople for yourself. The Latin Empire, which has been gone for more than 200 years, well, at least by the point that you're going to restore this, probably a lot more than that, which was a Catholic empire, of course, and since you're probably going to stay Catholic, you will likely restore the Latin Empire if you don't want to keep it for yourself, right? Super duper excited for that, and that's probably going to be my first playthrough in the next DLC. You can get a historical friendship with Sweden too from your mission tree, and some bonuses for your economy. And the final mission for the Commonwealth requires that you become a hegemon, be it economic, naval, or military hegemon, and these are the bonuses you get. If you become an economic hegemon, you get a 20% chance to get another dev point whenever you develop a province. That is ridiculously powerful. If you become a naval hegemon, you get until the end of the game global trade power, ship trade power, and marine force limit +15. And for the military one, you get artillery level versus fort +2 and governing capacity +15%. Holy mother of god, the military one is insanely powerful. Talk about pretty much instant freaking sieges right here. And you get 2 sets of national ideas for the Commonwealth. One if you form it with Lithuanian culture, one if you form it with Polish culture. So the one where it's not Lithuanian right here, so I guess it's Polish, you get reform progress growth +25, 2 accepted cultures, idea cost -10, goods produced +10, army tradition +1. Wow, that is really powerful. That's literally better than Prussia's idea set. What? Infantry compatibility +10, discipline +5, monarch admin +1 guaranteed, 30% cav compatibility, and the ability to recruit the winged hussars. Okay, that is definitely powerful. And then the Lithuanian one, if you form the PLC as Lithuania, governing capacity +15, manpower +25, discipline +5, dev cost -10% reduction, global trade goods modifier +5%, diplonixation -15, cav compatibility +20, not 30 as with the Polish one, and you can recruit hussars still, and tech cost -5. I'd say the Polish one's a lot better than the Lithuanian one, but then the Lithuanian one has the dev cost reduction if you're playing Toll, I guess, so there's that for that one. Next week, we're going to talk about sea-related new content, so that probably is a reference to the fact that Gotland is likely going to start as a independent independent nation, since there's a rebellion going on in 1444 in Gotland. Definitely plausible for Gotland to be an independent nation. Maybe a pirate republic. Maybe a republic that would like to join the HRE somehow. But get protection from the Emperor. Who's to say? But in any case, I love this dev diary, and I hope you guys did too. So until the next time, check out this awesome England video. And I want to give a massive thank you to all of my patrons, channel members, and Twitch subscribers. I would not be able to do this without all your support. If anybody else would like to also support me, you will find the links in the description.